How's everybody doing today? So I wanted to make a quick video. I've had a lot of people, when I go out and I minister and I talk to people, a lot of people that really want to be Christians, they they have the same complaint, the same worry, the same statement that they always say, and that's that, I'm not good enough. You don't know what I've done. God can never forgive me. Things like that. And I tell them, I said, God can forgive anything, no matter what you've done. And if you just read the Bible, you'll see stories. Do you think that God can't forgive you if you're a liar? Do you think God can't forgive you if you're an alcoholic? Do you think God can't forgive you if you're a murderer? If you blaspheme against Him? If you covet against your neighbor? There's nothing that you can do that God won't forgive you. And I'll give you some examples. So in the book of Genesis, you have Noah, and I'm sure everybody, whether you're a Christian or not, knows about Noah. He was an alcoholic. He was caught drinking, getting drunk by his sons, laying naked in his bed, and God still used him. In the book of Genesis, there's a story of Jacob, who was probably the biggest liar of all the Bible. He manipulated, he lied, he did everything he possibly could to get his way. And it said later on that he actually fought with God, or, at the very least, an angel of God. And that's when God changed his name. What about Moses? Moses was a murderer. Moses killed a guy because he found out he was a Jew. So he murdered somebody, and God still used him. What about David? David did, in my opinion, one of the worst things in the Bible. He was looking at his window, and he saw this beautiful woman, and he said, I have to have her. So he basically called for her. She came to his room. They were intimate. And he said, well, I got what I wanted. No big deal. And it turns out later she got pregnant. The problem was that she had a husband. So what he did is he called his military leader and said, hey, that guy, Urias, I want you to put him in the front line so he'll die. He made it so that this guy would die just because he went and got his wife pregnant. That's pretty disgusting to me. You know what God said about him? This is a man after my own heart. So even after he did all that, he changed his life around and became a good person. And God used him. What about Saul? Saul of Tarsus. Saul of Tarsus was a guy that was a Jew, and he's basically made it his mission in life to kill all the Christians, to get rid of all the Christians. He thought that Christians were the scum of the earth, and so he decided he's going to kill all the Christians. And he went and got a court order from the judges and the magistrates, and he was allowed to kill all the Christians he possibly could find. And one day on the road to Damascus, he was hit by a bright light that blinded him for 3 days. He was ministered on the truth about God. God actually said, Saul, why are you persecuting me? Why are you persecuting my children? That man later became Paul. Paul wrote, I would say, probably 2/3 of the New Testament. Paul became, probably, in my opinion, the greatest preacher in the Bible. He actually preached better than Jesus did. Jesus did miracles and he preached, but Paul, by far, had a bigger impact preaching the gospel than Jesus did. I mean, Jesus obviously is the gospel, but Paul just, it was an amazing thing. Then you have Peter, who walked with God, or walked with Jesus, and I would say that if anybody knew that Jesus was the Messiah, it was probably Peter. And it said that he denied him 3 times. He denied that he knew Jesus. I don't think that there's anything you could do that's gonna get. There's nothing you could do. I mean, you've got David, who literally saw a woman he liked, was intimate with her, and then killed her husband to hide the fact that he was intimate with her. Then you have Paul, who killed Christ's children. He killed Jesus' children. And then when people asked him why you're doing it, he said, well, God told me to. That's pretty dirty. And I just want you to know that there's nothing you could do that, God won't forgive. God forgives everything. You just have to accept Christ in your life, believe that He's your Savior. And then once you do that, you start working to know God better, to know God more. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to make that video. I've got so many people telling me, you just don't know what I've done. You don't know what I've done. And the good thing is that we've all done bad things. We've all done horrible things. But when Christ comes into your life and you decide to become a new person, it's all gone. It's all washed away. And you're a new creature. So guys, I just want you guys to thank you for watching my video. If you have any questions or comments, you can email me or you can comment below. Comment and let me know, what you guys think about this video. If there's anybody else in the Bible you could think of that done some pretty bad things and God still used them. Anyways, guys, I'll talk to you next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.